emotions.
Me neither.
I do really have some emotions. I'm not even kidding.
Okay, wait, if I do that, it's gonna be backwards. Will you just make sure that it's kind of like, I'll try to stand. Is it right at the TV? Okay, I'll try to stand there.
I got a big old boob.
Everybody dies. It's a sad thing. It really is a sad thing, but everybody dies. I'm the most unsupportive.
Are you sure you don't want a hug?
Okay. Today, we're going to read an excerpt from an essay by Ralph Waldo Emerson called Self-Reliance. So on the front of your packet, if you need to write something to fulfill this
What's it called?
need to yourself, it's called Self-Reliance by Ralph Waldo Emerson.
Here's another one of these.
Oh, American literature.
So many crying.
So many crying.
So many crying.
By who?
Where's the
Ralph
reading?
Waldo Emerson. The front page is blank, sir.
Yeah, I did the same thing. I went to the back. I was like, read the backwards.
You know what?
Okay, Ralph Waldo Emerson was considered the greatest American thinker of his day. Emerson was a leader of the Transcendentalist movement. The Transcendentalists believe in a deep spiritual connection between people and nature, and the soul of each individual was thought to be a microcosm of the world itself. The essay Self-Reliance expresses his beliefs on individualism. It is a combination of different ideas from his journal in which Emerson recorded his thoughts for years. Emerson used his journal as a source of ideas for his frequent lectures. He tested and perfected his style and wording before audiences, noting their reactions. He then condensed his ideas into essay form. Okay, so, was it in this class or another class? I was literally just talking about the word aphorism. Was that with someone else?
I
I
think
don't
so.
think it was this class.
Okay, so an aphorism is a short little saying that people just remember. They become part of a culture, and they're usually like words of advice, like the early bird gets the worm, don't cry over spilt milk, early to bed, early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. So all these little cutesy little sayings that are meant to be words of wisdom. That's what aphorism means. So in the first bullet point there where it says write things down, it gives a definition. A short saying or pointed statement, an aphorism that gains currency and is passed from generation to generation is called a proverb or an adage. So those are three synonyms. Why don't you underline those three words? Aphorism, proverb, and adage. They all mean the same thing. Those of you who are biblical, if you've ever looked at the book of Proverbs,
Proverb or an adage?
they are all very short little verses that are kind of meant to be read singularly, not so much as a whole. Okay, I'm going to give you a couple minutes. See if you can come up with any of these short little sayings. I find that it's often older people who know these, like grandmas, aunts, teachers. See if you can come up with any more.
But the early bird gets a worm, baby.
Yeah, write them down.
Okay. How many? As many as we can.
As many as you can come up with. So in the box that says aphorism, write it down.
You're too hard for me.
I'm gonna give you a couple first words and see if you can fill in the aphorism. Just write it down, okay? The first one is practice. So that's the first word. You see if you can fill in the rest of it.
Wait. I need to whisper something.
There's actually more than one, so the first one.
Okay.
Okay, the second one, the next one I'm gonna tell you the last word. The last word in this one is cat.
Oh, the
And the first word
Okay,
also starts with C.
Couldn't tell you.
I do. I know it because I used to get called one all the time.
I don't know.
Crisscross applesauce.
Spoon in your bowl.
The next
I
one,
don't know who crisscross applesauce.
the next one I'm giving you a hint.
To Kill a Mockingbird. That's a good one.
Is that really one? Oh!
What?
No idea.
What?
I never read that book.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep my pencil down.
Might be one.
Never read that
Oh!
book.
Nuh-uh, because look how many books she's
Bookworm.
given us.
All books.
They're all books. Don't.
That was odd.
Okay, I have pretty much all my paper can handle.
I'm on the same grade with you.
You're gonna have to read all these out loud.
There you are.
I know what the meanings are, but I don't know
Would you
how
want
to
to
say
split the
them.
meetings?
Okay, I'll give you two more. The next one, the aphorism starts with actions.
Milkshake.
Actions.
Uh-huh.
Action. I'm so bad at this. I don't think you understand.
I'll give you one more. Give.
Starts with give.
Starts with give.
Give is such a.
Broad.
I'm
Broad
so
word.
good at this.
Give them.
Give them hell.
That
Good
might
guess.
actually be it. Is it not it?
I'll give you actions. Right?
Give, receive.
I see where you're going. That wasn't the one I was thinking
Oh.
of. Okay, who wants to share one they came up with before I gave you the hints? Tanner?
I have. I'll do one of them. And tell me if this is wrong.
Not one that I gave you, right?
Yeah, not
Okay.
one. Kill two birds with one stone.
Okay, good.
That
Kill
is
two
fun.
birds with one stone, which means what?
You
Take care of
accomplish
two
two
things.
things like with one action. Or
Yeah,
something
so
like
it's like work smarter, not harder kind of mentality. Okay,
Would that be one?
Kendra? Probably.
An apple a day keeps the doctor.
An apple
Oh,
a day keeps the
my,
doctor
say that.
away.
I had that one.
Good. So small healthy choices will benefit you in the long run. Lex,
The early bird gets the worm.
early bird gets the worm.
Gave us that one, Lexi.
No, she didn't.
I said early to bed, early to rise makes man healthy, wealthy, and wise. Early bird gets the worm as
Oh,
well.
I
Okay,
didn't
I
hear
have
you
a
say
good
that.
one.
So it doesn't count.
I have
Yes.
a really good one. Happy wife, happy life.
Happy
I had that
life.
one.
Happy life. Good.
Wait, what did we say for the early bird gets the worm?
Early risers are the most successful. If you know what it means, I'm okay. If you don't want to copy down all the. Okay, how about one of the ones I said?
Practice what you preach.
Practice what you
Oh.
preach. I would also take
Practice makes perfect.
practice makes perfect. Okay, well let's go practice what you preach. What does
Oh,
it
I
mean?
like that.
Do
Like,
it.
Do what
what
you
you're gonna
tell
tell
them.
us. Do
Yeah,
what you
don't be-
say.
don't
Don't
be
be a
hypocrites.
hypocrite.
Don't
Oh.
be a hypocrite. Yeah, do. It's like when
That's a big word for you.
and the
Shut up.
opposite is do as I say, not as I do. So I don't know. Do any of your parents were any of your parents smokers? I know most of your parents are not, but some of yours
Oh
I
yeah,
know
our
some
dad
of-
does smoke
Okay.
a freaking chain.
Did you ever take home the little packets when you were little and say, "Please stop smoking, you're gonna die"? You know, and my parents are both smokers. Did you
No.
ever? Do you remember
I
that?
just tell him
Ever
it's dumb
taking
for
home
doing
those
it.
little like red ribbon week flyers and stuff?
No,
and
do you know what my dad
or the
does?
health teachers up there talking about the dangers of smoking, and I just start bawling because
Listen, I have something
I did
funny.
that.
My dad
My parents
gets
used to
Marlboro coupons from Marlboro.
Oh, I'll tell you more smoky stories. Okay. So then this saying is do as I say, not as I do, because your parents, and you probably all have encountered this, where your parents do something that they have told you not to do, and they respond with do as I say, not as I do. It's the opposite of practice what you preach. Where the grown up is saying, just because I do it doesn't mean you can do it. Like, this is like Kellen and I about cussing. He's on this cussing kick.
What's he gonna
Any of
say?
you have younger
What's
siblings
he
who have gone
saying?
through a cussing kick?
What's he saying?
Oh, he just likes to say,
Oh, he just goes like that?
oh yeah, but he says it when he means what you're,
Nope,
what
not
Do you
on
want to
it.
hear
Thanks,
something
guys.
really
Oh,
funny?
and then last
I don't
night, Dak
like it.
Prescott is on the TV. We're watching the
Read it.
Cowboys game after Brett Maher
It's you,
misses his
wasn't it?
third. That's 3. You know, Brett Maher's from Kearney, Nebraska, by the way.
Taylor.
And
What?
he misses his third extra point, and there's
What
a.
did you tweet on
They
this?
zoom in on Dak Prescott ripping his helmet off,
He goes
going,
off.
and Kellen's like, he just, and I was like, no, he said, let's have fun.
You want to hear something really funny?
That was so funny.
He just went through a phase last year where his favorite word was dickhead.
Yeah. Yeah.
Guess who he got that from?
Smashing children's.
You?
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
And he does
He
this.
did. And now he goes, every
Okay.
time someone takes a picture of me. I have a really funny picture of Aiden.
What are
Aiden
some
and Riley all
other
going
ones
like
you?
this.
What are some other ones I said?
Curiosity.
Curiosity killed the cat.
How the hell did you get that?
What does that even mean?
That's what I got.
That means
people
if
that
you
are
keep
nosy-
asking questions, you're gonna get killed.
Okay, I'm gonna stop asking.
It's really a saying, like old people say to little kids, like when you're looking for your birthday present or Christmas present, or like you just keep snooping into things that you really should stay out of. Okay?
You know what I used
Anything
to say
else?
back to them when I said that? I said, I don't like cats.
Did I say
That's what he used to
actions
say.
speak louder than words? Did I
No.
give you that one? That's a good one.
Give what you take.
Okay, what was the give one?
That's what I thought.
That wasn't it, but that was a good one. Give him and
Something, and then he'll give you the world, or isn't it?
No.
Something like that.
this one's
Oh.
sadder.
Give him an inch, he'll take a mile.
Give him an
Yeah.
inch, he'll take a mile.
Truth.
True.
Good job.
Except for me, I don't do that.
Yeah, you give you a mile and you take an inch.
Oh, that's kind of a compliment, I think. Is it? I don't know.
No. You're
What
lazy.
does that one mean?
No, I'm kidding. I don't think you're lazy. I'm just kidding.
What does it mean? It means if you give someone a little bit of space, like let's say I give you permission, like I'm your parent and I give you permission to go out to the movies, and I say, yep, you can go to the movies. And then you also go do something to Walmart, you go out to eat, and you say, well, you didn't tell me I couldn't do those things. So I gave you a little bit of room. There's another one that's the same actually, but it's a lot more controversial these days, which is if you give him enough rope, he'll hang himself. We don't really, probably a little bit more culturally sensitive in today's world, but same kind of mentality, basic idea is give an inch, take a mile. Okay, any other ones that we didn't answer?
Was bookworm the one you were trying to do?
No, what was the book one?
Book?
Don't
Book by the
Don't
cover.
judge a book by its
Oh.
That's
cover.
why I was like,
That's
don't.
why the
Kill a
covers.
mockingbird, I
the
said kill a bird
covers.
with 2 stones, but
And then I was like, no.
Don't
she's
judge a
showing
book by
me
its
one
cover.
book.
Although
kill
we
2
do
birds
it,
with 1
we all
stone.
do it.
What?
That's right.
No, I said kill a bird with 2 stones.
That's what I got that from To Kill a Mockingbird.
Okay.
I yelled
Don't. It's kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah,
Okay. Good.
that's
You
why
get it?
I read it out loud.
You get the idea.
That's not
All right. The next page. It says, listen as your teacher reads the first 2 sections of self-reliance. Write down any aphorisms in your chart. We're not going to do that. I just want you to underline them. Okay? And then I'm going to read the first 2 paragraphs, and then I'm going to stop and let you read the third one, and you can continue underlining those aphorisms. Okay, 2 things before I start. This is an excerpt of this entire essay. These are all taken from Ralph Waldo Emerson's journals. Okay, he has like hundreds of journals that he kept over kind of a long amount of time, but it's a lot of writing for most of us to envision doing on our own. Okay, here we go. There is a time in every man's education when he arrives at the conviction that envy is ignorance, that imitation is suicide, that he must take himself for better, for worse, as his portion, that though the wide universe is full of good, no kernel of nourishing corn can come to him but through his toil, bestowed on that plot of ground which is given to him to till. Trust thyself. Every heart vibrates to that iron string. Accept the place of the divine Providence has found for you, the society of your contemporaries, the connection of events. Great men have always done so and confided themselves childlike to the genius of their age, betraying their perception that the eternal was stirring at their heart, working through their hands, predominating in all their being.
I don't know what to underline.
Neither.
Can we go over at least just the first paragraph? And
No, both.
How many
Oh.
should we have underlined? In the first paragraph, it's the envy is ignorance, right?
Okay,
That's one of them.
imitation is suicide.
good.
He must take himself for better. No.
No
I
kernel
would
of
probably,
nourishment?
no kernel of corn can come to him but through his toil. What does that mean?
Mm-hmm.
You reap,
But you,
literally, that's probably where that came from,
What does it
is a rephrasing of that sentence. You
It's
reap
like-
what you sow.
You lie in the bed you make.
You put in, you get out what you put in.
We didn't say it in there.
no, but like,
What is it? How does that one go?
Which
You have to sleep in the bed you made? Is that what it
No,
is?
you lie in the bed you make.
Okay, yeah. What you get out of it is what you put into it.
Into a TurboTax.
Okay? Next
Nice.
one.
Every heart vibrates to that iron string.
Yeah, I would just do trust thyself, myself.
What's your point to me underlining these things?
Maybe accept the place the divine providence has found for you.
that one.
the society.
Are we supposed to try and say what we think all this means or what?
Like, the question I guess is, could
Betraying
you
their
do that
perception
if you had to?
I think the great men.
Could you do what?
Could you rephrase those into common language?
What about betraying their perception that the eternal was stirring at their heart? No. Yes.
Okay, so let's look at that last sentence in the second paragraph. Great men have always done so and confided themselves childlike to the genius of their age, betraying their perception that the eternal was stirring at their heart, working through their hands, predominating all their being. What have great men always done?
Maturity.
Fought in wars, looked
No,
after
it
their
says-
wives and children, and defended them with their life.
Great men have always done so. What's the so? What thing have they done? Trusted thyself and accepted their place as God gave it to them. Great men have always done those things and confided or said to themselves, known in their hearts, that the eternal was stirring their hearts. Who's the eternal? Why is it capitalized? God was stirring their hearts, working through their hands, predominating in all their being.
Like working through them?
Yeah, this idea that God works through people to
Can I just
have his
box that sentence thing?
will done on earth.
I don't know about that.
That's what Emerson believes.
Well, I don't like Emerson that much. He's just some trust fund baby. Whereas Henry David Thoreau went out and did the work.
Okay, next paragraph. Society everywhere is in conspiracy against the manhood of every one of its members. This is a
This next
idea
one is it.
that Thoreau and Emerson shared. That society as a whole was like out to get you. Society is a joint stock company
That's one.
in which the members agree for the better securing of his bread to each shareholder, to surrender the liberty and culture of the eater. Okay. So it says, if you look down at the bottom with that little superscript, the one with the footnote. So a joint stock company is a company in which joint owners hold the capital. So the capital being the money in this case. So society is a joint stock company in which the members agree for the better securing of his bread to each shareholder, to surrender the liberty and culture of the eaters. Meaning, it's like a dog eat dog world. Like the people with the money control things.
Wow,
True.
all right, Lizzie.
And who are those people looking out for? Themselves. Not the people eating the bread. Not the people they're selling it to. Themselves.
There's a reason why I like to learn about transcendentalism. I find there's a lot of truth in transcendentalism.
The virtue, which means the truth, or the good, like the good thing you can take from it, in most requests is conformity. Self-reliance is its aversion. So up above there, or somewhere you can write conformity versus self-reliance. These two things are opposite. You can either conform or you can be self-reliant. It loves not realities and creators, but names and customs. Whoso would be a man must be a nonconformist. I should give this to Tanner Landers for his boy. He who would rather... Okay, I'm start that one. Whoso would be a man must be a nonconformist. He who would gather immoral palms must not be hindered by the name of goodness, but must explore if it be goodness. Nothing is at last sacred but the integrity of our own mind. So, make decisions for yourself.
Which one?
That's what that whole paragraph, that last paragraph. Don't take what other people say as truth. You have to decide for yourself. If it's good, if it's bad, if it's right, if it's wrong. Don't listen to society. This next one's my favorite paragraph. What I must do is all that concerns me, not what the people think. This rule, equally arduous in actual and in intellectual life, may serve for the whole distinction between greatness and meanness. Okay, arduous, if you look down at the bottom, means difficult, like a trial. Okay, so that first line is my favorite line in this whole essay. What I must do is all that concerns me, not what the people think. Mind your business. And make your decisions for yourself. And then he says, this rule, equally difficult in actual life and in intellectual life. So he's saying this is very hard to do. But if you can do it, it makes all the difference. It is the whole distinction between greatness and meanness. Could substitute those words for success and failure. So if you can learn to do this, it makes all the difference.
you believe that to be true?
Yes. How many of the things you don't like about yourself are because of what you think other people think of those things? And as a grown-up, it doesn't get easier either. So the things that cause problems in your life, the things that you're not happy with in your life, how many of those unhappinesses are stemmed from what you think other people think of those things? Not maybe necessarily what you think, but how you think other people perceive you because of those things. And that's what this paragraph is saying, that is irrelevant. What other people think about it is irrelevant. It only matters what you think, what you want. It is the harder, because you will always find those who think they know what is your duty better than you know it. It is easy in the world to live after the world's opinion. It is easy in solitude to live after our own. But the great man is he who in the midst of a crowd keeps with perfect sweetness the independence of solitude. Okay, so when you're by yourself, it's really easy to tell what your morals and what your beliefs are. When you're in a crowd, it's really easy to agree with whatever they say. The real man is one who can take his own values and live them out amongst a crowd. Easier said than done. A foolish consistency is the hobgoblin of little minds, adored by little statesmen and philosophers and divines. With consistency, a great soul has simply nothing to do. He may as well concern himself with his shadow on the wall. Out upon your guarded lips, sew them up with packthread do. Else, if you would be a man, speak what you think today in words as hard as cannonballs, and tomorrow speak what tomorrow thinks in hard words again, though it contradict everything you said today. Ah, then, exclaim the aged ladies, you shall be sure to be misunderstood. Misunderstood! It is a right fool's word. Is it so bad then to be misunderstood? Pythagoras was misunderstood, and Socrates, and Jesus, and Luther, and Copernicus, and Galileo, and Newton, and every pure and wise spirit that ever took flesh. To be great is to be misunderstood. Okay, important message there. It's okay to change your mind tomorrow. It's okay to change your mind every day. What does changing your mind tell a wise man about you?
Thinking.
That you're thinking, that you're growing, that you're changing. What does it tell a dumb man about you?
You can't make up your mind.
That you can't make up your mind.
You're single-minded.
That you're single-minded. And then he lists all those famous people who also were misunderstood. Pythagoras, who's famous for what? A squared plus b squared equals c squared. And Socrates was a philosopher, an ancient Greek philosopher. And Jesus and Luther, as in Martin Luther, who wrote the 95 Theses. And Copernicus and Galileo, who were star readers and map makers. Okay. I hope in these days we have heard the last of conformity and consistency. Let the words be gazetted and ridiculous henceforward. Instead of the gong for dinner, let us hear a whistle from the Spartan fife. Let us bow and apologize nevermore. A great man is coming to eat at my house. I do not wish to please him. I wish that he should wish to please me. I will stand here for humanity, and though I would make it kind, I would make it true. Let us affront and reprimand this. Draw a box around this sentence. Let us affront and reprimand the smooth mediocrity and squalid contentment of the times, and hurl in the face of custom and trade and office the fact which is the upshot of all history, that there is a great, responsible thinker and actor moving wherever moves a man. that a true man belongs to no other time or place, but is the center of things.
That's a long sentence.
It is long
Longest
sentence.
sentences.
These guys have a tendency to ramble like that. Okay, so the moral of that sentence, so I almost said paragraph.
Pretty much.
The moral of that sentence, if you don't like it, change it. Don't sit back and let the world happen to you. You go make something happen in the world. These guys would have had so many views on TED Talks. Okay, so it says that there is a great responsible thinker and actor moving wherever moves a man, that a true man belongs to no other time or place, but is the center of things. And then it goes on. Where he is, there is nature. Every true man is a cause, a country, and an age, requires infinite spaces and numbers and time fully to accomplish his thought. And posterity seem to follow his steps as a procession. A man Caesar is born, and 4 ages after we have a Roman Empire. Christ is born, and millions of minds so grow and cleave to his genius that he is confounded with virtue and the possible of man. An institution is the lengthened shadow of one man, as the Reformation of Luther, Quakerism of Fox, Methodism of Wesley, abolition of Clarkson, Scipio, Milton called the height of Rome, and all history resolves itself very easily into the biography of a few stout and earnest persons. Okay, so did Martin Luther know that he was creating an entirely new religious culture in the moment of his life? No. And there's a list of other people. Did Jesus, and this one's questionable because, you know, Jesus is kind of all-knowing, but do people who change the world know the impact they will have as they are making it? Probably not. They might hope it happens, but they go forth in action without knowing the end result, but hoping the end result will be what they want. These are the signs of great men who will live the life they want without knowing whether it catches fire or not and the rest of the world takes hold of it. But that you do it because it's what you believe is right and where you believe the world should go. Make sense? Okay. Turn to page 291 and cross out the vocab workshop. And actually, you can cross out page 290 also. You don't need to do that.
Even better.
What you do need to do is that investigate, inquire, and imagine. And here's the catch. If we have school tomorrow, we're going to do it in class.
Okay.
If we don't have school tomorrow, it's still going to be due on Thursday.
But what are we doing?
Okay, so at the top of 291, there's basically 6 questions.
Do you answer them or what?
You answer them. You can, you know, if you erased in pencil, you could even use some of these lines that are on the page, or you can attach a piece of notebook paper to it. And then on the back, you can cross out the literary tools and just do the read-write connection on the back.
What
You
about the beyond?
don't- no, don't do that either.
Don't do the back.
So all the
So
teachers
just the
Thursday?
middle question on the back, that's the only one you have to do, and the 6 questions at the top.
All this is due Thursday?
Yes.
Easy enough. Perfect.
What? You're fine.
We don't have to do any of these.
No.
We're not having school tomorrow.
The only reason we're doing this in a paper copy in the first place
I'm gonna
is
tell that to
because
Miss Langer.
What if we didn't
this
have
looks prettier than printing it straight off the internet.
What if we didn't have school Thursday if we don't have
Then Friday.
Okay.
The next time,
the next time we see each other?
so tomorrow we're gonna work on this in class if we have class. If not, it's due when you come back to school.
We have to have school
Why?
conference.
Who gives a crap about conferences?
Oh, you do. We're gonna have it.
And the
Conference
same